92%. That is not a typo. 92% of adults over 65 in the United States have insufficient levels of one single vitamin. And I am not talking about some exotic supplement you have never heard of. I am talking about a vitamin your body was designed to make on its own. A vitamin so fundamental that every single cell in your body has a receptor for it. And when you do not have enough of it, your bones become brittle, your immune system goes blind, your DNA starts to unravel, and your risk of dying from almost everything goes up. I have seen it hundreds of times. A patient walks into my office. They are tired all the time. Their joints ache. They keep catching every cold and flu that comes around. Their doctor tells them it is just aging. And then I run one blood test, and the answer is sitting right there. Vitamin D, not even close to where it should be. I am Dr. Margaret Hale, 28 years in integrative medicine and clinical nutrition. And today, I am going to tell you something that most doctors never explain properly. Vitamin D is not just a vitamin. It is a hormone. And when it drops below a certain level, your body starts falling apart in ways you cannot see until it is too late. Let me tell you about a woman named Dorothy, 71 years old, retired school librarian from Savannah, Georgia. Dorothy came to see me because she had fractured her wrist picking up a bag of groceries. A bag of groceries. She told me she had been feeling weak for about 2 years. Her doctor said it was osteoporosis and gave her a prescription, but nobody ever checked her vitamin D. When I ran her labs, her level was 14 nanograms per milliliter. The minimum should be 30. Some experts say it should be between 40 and 60 for real protection. Dorothy was walking around with bones that were basically dissolving from the inside because nobody checked a simple blood test. Now here is the part that changes everything. Vitamin D does not just help your bones. That is the old story. The one they taught in medical school 30 years ago. The new science is so much bigger than that. And I mean dramatically bigger. Vitamin D controls over 1,000 genes in your body. It regulates how your immune cells fight infections and cancer. It protects the very tips of your chromosomes from aging. And I am not guessing. I am going to walk you through 4 major clinical studies that prove every word of what I just said. But first, you need to understand something. Even if you go outside every day, even if you eat salmon twice a week, even if you take a little multivitamin, there is a very high chance you are still deficient. And here is why. After age 60, your skin produces about 75% less vitamin D from sunlight than it did when you were 20. Your kidneys become less efficient at converting it into its active form, and most foods contain almost none. Fortified milk gives you about 100 units per glass. Your body needs between 2,000 and 4,000 units per day just to maintain adequate levels. You would have to drink 20 to 40 glasses of milk every single day. Nobody is doing that. So let me give you the science. And I want you to pay close attention because what I am about to tell you could change the next 20 years of your life. Think of vitamin D like the master key in a hotel. There is not just one door, it opens. It opens the door to your bones. It opens the door to your immune system. It opens the door to your DNA repair machinery. It opens the door to your brain. Every single cell in your body has a vitamin D receptor, which means every single cell is waiting for this molecule to arrive and give it instructions. When the key is missing, all those doors stay locked, and what is behind those doors starts to deteriorate. Study number 1. The Vital Trial. This was published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition in 2025. It is the largest randomized controlled trial ever conducted on vitamin D. 25,871 participants, men over 50, women over 55. They gave half of them 2,000 international units of vitamin D3 every single day for 5 years and followed them closely. Now here is what they found that nobody is talking about. In a sub-study of 1,054 participants, they measured something called telomere length. Telomeres are the protective caps on the ends of your chromosomes. Think of them like the plastic tips on the ends of your shoelaces. Every time a cell divides, those caps get a little shorter. When they get too short, the cell either dies or becomes damaged. This is one of the core mechanisms of biological aging. The people who took vitamin D3 lost 140 fewer base pairs of DNA over 4 years compared to the placebo group. The researchers calculated that this was equivalent to preventing nearly 3 years of biological aging. 3 years. From one vitamin. Harvard called this the first large-scale randomized trial to show that vitamin D protects telomeres and preserves telomere length. Your DNA is literally aging slower when you have enough vitamin D in your body. Let me put that in perspective. If someone offered you a pill that could slow how fast your chromosomes age by 3 years, you would pay almost anything for it. This is not some experimental gene therapy. It is a vitamin that costs about 8 cents a day at your local pharmacy. And the study was not some small pilot trial. This was 25,000 people followed for 5 years by researchers at Harvard, Brigham and Women's Hospital, and the National Heart, Lung and Blood Institute. This is as solid as clinical evidence gets. If you know someone over 60 who is tired all the time, who keeps getting sick, whose bones are getting weaker, send them this video right now. This could be the one thing that changes their next decade. Study number 2. Published in the journal Science in 2024. Researchers at the Francis Crick Institute in London discovered something extraordinary. Vitamin D directly regulates how your gut bacteria communicate with your immune system to fight cancer. They found that vitamin D increases the abundance of a bacterium called Bacteroides fragilis in the gut. This bacterium produces a compound that enhances the activity of T cells. T cells are your body's main weapon against cancer. The study showed that mice with adequate vitamin D levels had significantly greater immune resistance to transplanted cancers. And when they looked at human data from over 1,000 cancer patients treated with immunotherapy, they found that patients with higher vitamin D-related gene expression had better responses to treatment and longer survival. Your gut, your vitamin D level, and your ability to fight cancer are all connected, and almost nobody is talking about this. I put everything I know about rebuilding your body after 60 into one comprehensive guide, the Reversal Protocol. It is my complete step-by-step plan, morning to night. What to take, when to take it, what to eat, what to avoid. I designed it for people who want one clear system instead of scattered information from 100 different sources. The link is in the pinned comment below this video. Study number 3. Bone mineral density. Now this is the one everybody knows about, but very few people understand correctly. A randomized controlled trial published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition studied 771 adults over 55. They measured bone mineral density at baseline and again at 2 years. What they found confirmed something I have been telling my patients for decades. Vitamin D without adequate calcium does not prevent fractures on its own. But vitamin D with the right cofactors, specifically vitamin K2, magnesium and calcium from food sources, creates a synergistic effect that dramatically improves bone density. Here is the analogy. Calcium is the brick. Vitamin D is the construction foreman who tells the body where to put the bricks. But without vitamin K2, those bricks can end up in your arteries instead of your bones. This is why so many people take calcium supplements and still get osteoporosis. They have the bricks, but no foreman directing traffic. If you are learning something new in this video, take a second and subscribe to this channel. I release new research-based videos every week, and I want to make sure you do not miss the next one. Study number 4. Immune function and respiratory infections. A massive meta-analysis, published in the British Medical Journal, analysed data from 25 randomised controlled trials. Over 11,000 participants. They found that daily or weekly vitamin D supplementation reduced the risk of acute respiratory infections by 12% overall. But in people who were severely deficient, meaning their blood levels were below 10 nanograms per milliliter, the risk reduction jumped to 70%. 70% fewer respiratory infections just by correcting a vitamin D deficiency. For seniors over 60, this is enormous. Respiratory infections are among the top 5 causes of hospitalization and death in older adults. A simple vitamin could be the difference between staying home healthy and ending up in the emergency room. Think about what that means during flu season. Think about what that means when a new virus starts circulating in your community. Your immune system is like a surveillance camera network. When vitamin D is low, half the cameras are turned off. Pathogens walk right in, and nobody sounds the alarm. When vitamin D is adequate, every camera is recording, every guard is at their post, and the response is fast and coordinated. Now I want to share something that connects all 4 of these studies together. Your bones, your DNA, your cancer-fighting ability, and your infection resistance all depend on the same molecule. That is rare in medicine. Usually when something sounds too good to be true, it is. But vitamin D is different because it is not a drug acting on one pathway. It is a hormone that your body was built around. We evolved for hundreds of thousands of years in equatorial sunlight. Our entire biology assumes we have abundant vitamin D. Modern life, with its offices and sunscreen and indoor living, broke that assumption, and our bodies are paying the price. Now let me give you the exact protocol. And I want you to write this down or take a screenshot because the details matter. Step 1. Get your blood tested. Ask your doctor for a 25-hydroxy vitamin D test. This is the gold standard, not vitamin D2, not the active form. The 25-hydroxy D test. Your level should be between 40 and 60 nanograms per milliliter for optimal protection, not just 30, which is the bare minimum. Step 2. Supplementation. If your level is below 30, you likely need 4,000 international units of vitamin D3 per day to bring it up, not vitamin D2. D3 is the form your body actually uses efficiently. It is also called cholecalciferol. Take it with a meal that contains fat because vitamin D is fat-soluble. A little olive oil, some avocado, a few nuts. Without fat, you absorb almost nothing. Step 3. This is the one most people miss. Take vitamin K2 with your vitamin D, specifically the MK7 form, 100 to 200 micrograms per day. Vitamin K2 activates a protein called osteocalcin that directs calcium into your bones and away from your arteries. Without K2, high-dose vitamin D can actually increase arterial calcification. Most doctors do not mention this. I consider it non-negotiable. Step 4. Make sure your magnesium is adequate. Remember the video I did about magnesium? This is where it connects. Your body cannot convert vitamin D into its active form without magnesium. A study from Vanderbilt University showed that magnesium actually regulates vitamin D levels. It raises D levels in people who are deficient and lowers it in people who have too much. It is like a thermostat. If you are taking vitamin D without magnesium, you are wasting about half of what you swallow. Step 5. Sunlight. I know. It sounds old-fashioned, but 10 to 15 minutes of direct sunlight on your arms and face between 10 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon, without sunscreen, 3 to 4 times per week, can produce between 10,000 and 20,000 units of vitamin D. Even in older adults with reduced skin production, some natural synthesis is better than none. After your 15 minutes, apply your sunscreen. This is not about getting a sunburn. It is about giving your body a small window to do what it was designed to do. Now let me tell you the 3 biggest mistakes I see with vitamin D. Mistake number 1, taking the wrong form. Vitamin D2, which is called ergocalciferol, is the form found in most prescription doses. But research consistently shows that D3 raises and maintains blood levels far more effectively. A study of 60 participants found that D3 was approximately 87% more potent than D2 in raising and maintaining serum 25-hydroxy-D levels. Mistake number 2, taking it without fat. I see this constantly. Someone takes their vitamin D pill first thing in the morning with just water. They might as well throw half of it in the trash. One study showed that taking vitamin D with the largest meal of the day, which usually contains the most fat, increased absorption by approximately 50%. Mistake number 3, ignoring the cofactors. I just explained this, but it bears repeating because it is that important. Vitamin D without K2 can push calcium into your blood vessels. Vitamin D without magnesium cannot be activated. Vitamin D without some dietary fat cannot be absorbed. These are not optional additions. They are required partners. Taking vitamin D alone is like hiring a construction crew and not giving them any materials. They show up to work, but nothing gets built. Mistake number 4, never retesting. You start taking vitamin D and assume everything is fine. But absorption varies enormously between individuals. Your weight, your gut health, your kidney function, your age, and even your skin color all affect how much you absorb and convert. I retest my patients every 3 to 4 months until we find their stable dose. Then I test twice a year to make sure levels are maintained. I want to hear from you. Have you ever had your vitamin D level tested? And if so, what was your number? Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one, and it helps me understand what my audience is dealing with so I can make better videos for you. Let me tell you what happened to Dorothy. After 6 months on 4,000 units of vitamin D3, 200 micrograms of K2MK7, 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate, and a protocol of weight-bearing exercises 3 times per week, her vitamin D level went from 14 to 52. Her bone density scan showed a 4% improvement in her lumbar spine. Her wrist healed completely. But the thing that made her cry in my office was something the numbers could not capture. She told me she felt like herself again. She had energy to play with her grandchildren. She stopped catching every virus that went through the school where she still volunteers. She said, "Dr. Hale, I thought getting old meant feeling terrible. I did not know this was fixable." She brought me a photograph of herself at her granddaughter's science fair, holding up a second-place ribbon, grinning like she had won the lottery. She told me she had carried the display boards in from the car by herself. 6 months earlier, she could not lift a bag of groceries without breaking a bone. That is what adequate vitamin D can do. Not some miracle. Just giving your body back the raw material it has been begging for. And that is what I want you to understand. So much of what we accept as normal aging is not normal at all. It is deficiency. It is a body that is not getting what it needs to repair itself, protect its DNA, maintain its bones, and fight off disease. And the solution, in so many cases, is sitting right there. Available. Affordable. Proven by some of the largest clinical trials in history. If this video changed how you think about vitamin D, share it with someone you love. Share it with your spouse, your parent, your neighbor. Because 92% of seniors are walking around deficient right now, and most of them do not know it. If you want my complete protocol for rebuilding your body at the cellular level, from morning to night, everything in one place, the reversal protocol is in the pinned comment below. And if you want to keep learning, I have another video ready for you right now about a mineral that 80% of seniors are missing and what it does to your heart and your nerves. I will see you there. This is Dr. Margaret Hale, and I mean it when I say this. Take care of yourself, because your body is still capable of extraordinary repair. It just needs the right tools. Do not let a simple deficiency steal your years. Get tested, get your levels up, and watch what happens when you give your cells what they have been waiting for.